Today's fugitive Australian journalist Shane Dowling from the website kangaroocourtofaustralia.com. Now, Julian Assange has had his application for leave to appeal adjourned until the 20th of May. That happened yesterday or last night. And originally it was being reported that he'd been granted leave to appeal and he'd be able to appeal against his extradition to the US. But that was obviously misread or misunderstood. And as it sort of became better understood, turned out that he hadn't been granted leave to appeal. The judges had only adjourned it until the 20th of May. They'd given the US 3 weeks to give certain assurances, and I'll read them out to you. That Julian Assange is permitted to rely on the First Amendment to the US in the US Constitution, which is the right to free speech, I understand. And I think it also is relevant to journalism, where certain rights there. Number 2, he is not prejudiced at trial by reason of his nationality. The US government had said at various stages that he won't be entitled to the same rights as US citizens. Well, the UK government says that he should be. And that the death penalty is not imposed. Once again, I'm not too sure if the US government have given that assurance in the past. They obviously haven't if they're asking for it again, the UK government, or they're asking for it. You assume they haven't given it in the past. Now, the US government, the UK courts have given the US government 3 weeks to give those assurances. If they don't, well, Julian Assange will be granted leave to appeal, and his appeal will be set down for later in the year at some stage. If they do give those assurances, it looks like the UK courts aren't going to grant Julian Assange leave to appeal, and he'll be extradited to the US unless Julian Assange can file further applications. And on my understanding, he can to the High Court in the UK and also the European Court. But let's listen to what his wife, Stella Assange, said immediately after the judgment was handed down last night.
Today's decision is astounding. The courts recognize that Julian is exposed to a flagrant denial of his freedom of expression rights, that he is being discriminated against on the basis of his nationality, an Australian, and that he remains exposed to the death penalty. And yet, what the courts have done have been to invite a political intervention from the United States to send a letter saying it's all okay. I find this astounding. 5 years into this case, the United States has managed to show the court that their case remains an attack on press freedom, an attack on Julian's life. What the courts haven't agreed to look at is the evidence that the United States has plotted to assassinate Julian, to kidnap him. Because if it acknowledges that, then of course he can't be sent to the United States. Julian is a political prisoner. He is a journalist, and he is being persecuted because he exposed the true cost of war in human lives. This case is a retribution. It is a signal to all of you that if you expose the interests that are driving war, they will come after you. They will put you in prison and they will try to kill you. Julian is just a few days away from the 5th anniversary of his arrest and imprisonment in Belmarsh prison. He has been in Belmarsh for 5 years without conviction, and the charges against him are to punish him for publishing the truth, for publishing evidence of the war crimes committed by the country that is trying to extradite him. Now, the UK courts have invited the United States to issue assurances. The Biden administration should not issue assurances. They should drop this shameful case that should never have been brought Julian should never have been imprisoned for a single day. This is a shame on every democracy. Julian is a political prisoner. He is a publisher, and he is being published for expressing his political opinion, for expressing freedom of the press in its purest form. Free Julian. I ask everyone to rally behind him and call for his freedom, call for the Biden administration to drop the case, and support House Resolution 934 before the US Congress to drop this case. Thank you.
Now, I'm going to publish an article tomorrow, Thursday, the 28th of March, 2024. I'll spend the rest of the day finding the best information, the most relevant information in relation to Julian Assange and his appeal or leave to appeal hearing. And I'll publish that tomorrow. So make sure you visit my website, kangaroocourtofaustralia.com, and there'll be further information there with plenty of links and a couple of videos at least. And Kangaroo Court of Australia is independent media, so please support my Patreon account or PayPal account. You can find the links below this video on YouTube and also on my website. And please share this video on social media, and please hit the like and subscribe button. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.